Hello, so this is another video in this series where I look at my favorite bits of music gear, and while I don't give a review or a demo, I do talk about a feature or an aspect of the gear which I really love. So I'm going to talk about the Electron Octatrak, which is an immense machine of extraordinary bit of kit. It is essentially a sampler and a sequencer, but very, very elaborately conceived and realized. It's famous for having a very steep learning curve, and sometimes you do get the feeling that human beings haven't quite caught up with the Octatrak. There is a sense in which you're not quite sure what it's for, because it has so many applications and so many implications in what it can do. You've got the feeling it's makes possible the reinvention of many things in music, which is a testament to quite how extraordinary it is. I won't talk about the sequencer in any sort of detail or its sampling capabilities. Those are both very big subjects, and I think the Electron sequencer is one of the really great achievements of electronic music instrument production of the last 20 years. I mean, a lot of people looking at the Octatrak behave like Wayne and Garth in Wayne's World when they meet Alice Cooper and get on their knees screaming, "We are not worthy." There is an extent to which its challenge is awesome. One of the things I wanted to look at, though, which I really like, is the way that it generalizes the concept of sidechaining. So sidechaining is familiar to most electronic musicians and record producers and so on, as a technique associated with compression and with gates. And while Octatrak isn't unique in generalizing this, for instance, in the software world, Ableton Live has a very broad approach to sidechaining. What the Octatrak does, although it doesn't use sidechaining by name, is it generalizes this idea and makes it possible for you to sidechain any parameter. So it doesn't use sidechaining with audio in the usual way. What you need to do instead is, within the sequencer, set some trigless trigs, which are these special moments which will trigger, for instance, an envelope or an LFO. And these you can use to sidechain anything from volume to pitch to a filter, and you can do it two ways within the sequencer. So the triggers make these things happen. You could be triggering an envelope or triggering an LFO, or you can run it independently of the triggers on the sequencer using the synced LFOs if you want regular pulses, which you then use to sidechain whatever it might be. So the LFOs will run in sync with the sequencer, although they're independent from the triggers on the sequencer. This is very powerful. So in a sense, it's like a kind of modular approach to the idea of sidechaining. So sidechaining meaning affecting a signal one way or the other with a fired envelope. It generalizes it and makes it applicable to anything, and that's a testament to quite how extraordinary this machine is. So it would take a common technique or a common method within electronic music and generalize it within its world and make it very broad. And that's one of the things which makes this machine quite so extraordinary. So thank you very much.